Live on YouTube. Yeah.
The Love Gurus podcast is starting now. The Love Gurus are comics that bring comedic wisdom to the savages asking bizarre relationship questions on the internet. Your hosts are Suzanne Leah Shepherd and Jake Vevera. I am the Love Gurus' pet robot Cassandra. I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Cassandra the robot. Thank you for introducing the show as always. I am excited about this next episode. We are doing yet another quarantine Zoom episode to not cough COVID all over people and get them all sick. Suzanne, how's quarantine treating you?
Yeah, still same old. It's been a whole yearsies by now, and it's like I remember like a year ago it was the toilet paper, it was the grocery stores, it was everything, and yeah, I don't know. It in retrospect it seemed silly that I was so scared all the time, but also everyone was scared.
It's been a yearsies. And I remember when the experts were going on TV saying it might be a yearsies, I'm like, those guys are fucking liarsies.
I know.
There's no goddamn way. It's not even going to be another monthsies. It's going to be fine. I don't know what all these assholes, it's going to be fine. And here we are now, a yearsy later.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, but that's okay because the podcast lives on. We keep taking dumb dating questions from psychos on the internet and drinking white wine and answering them. I'm excited about today's episode. We have two amazing guests. First up, he's a returning guest, hilarious stand-up comic. Follow him on social media, Mr. Nicosia. Thank you for being back. Hey, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. And another guest, a first-time guest. She is a hilarious stand-up comic. Follow her on social media as well. Check out her Zoom show next Monday called The Nice Guy Shows. You can follow her on Instagram at Kayt Balls of Fire. Kayt, Hester, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. So what time is the show? I know I asked, but I'm a dummy and I forgot to write down what time it was.
It's at 8:00 at night on Monday.
Oh, there you go. 8:00 on Monday.
And also, you spell your name Kayt, Balls of Fire. So if people are typing in.
No, it's K and the number 8 and then the word balls.
Nice.
The first one that comes up. Yeah, Kayt Balls.
That's, you spell it like a mumble rapper with like Reese's Pieces and Skittles and shit tattooed all over their face.
It's like my MC name, like MC.
I like that.
8 Balls. Yeah.
I like that. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But yeah, my name is spelled stupid too with the Kayt.
No, I know.
No, it's very dumb. I tried to go to the other way. It didn't work. It didn't stick.
Okay, so I had to do something where I had to create. Anyway, here's what I was wondering about last week. When we made our email addresses, I don't know, I'm kind of old. So like when I made my email address, it was like, oh, would you just like your name? And I was like, yes, I would just kind of like my name. Thank you. But now so many email addresses have been created. Do you name your kid or do you first find the email address? Which one comes first? It is really crazy. It's like, you're like, oh, I would really like to name my daughter Teresa. Well, sorry. She's going to have to be Teresa 8,958,000.
Yeah, I even get it. And my last name's Vevera. That's not a common last name.
Not a common last name.
Yeah. Eastern European last name that no one can say right because it's spelled funny. It's got V's, which are a weird, obscure consonant anyway. Like no one really fucks with V's too much. But for some reason, I'll go to get a new email or username somewhere and can't do Jake Vevera, got to put a number after. It's like, how many Jake Veveras are on here? If you have any more Jake Veveras, I'm the victim of identity theft, and you need to find that motherfucker. I need to find him. There can be only one of me. I will decapitate him like the goddamn Highlander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say when I hopped on Twitter for the first time, I'm like, oh, my name is stupid and redundant. Like no one else probably has this because like it's just like Nicosia. That's dumb. That's a dumb name, objectively. And but no, someone else had it, so I had to throw my middle initial in there. And the other Nicosia on Twitter, I think he tweeted a few times a couple years ago about getting molested by priests, and then nothing else. So I'm like, that'll be good for my brand, I think. We'll have that. That shows up when you search for me on the internet.
Isn't that like, that's like a whole hacker world in itself, is collecting like cool handles and like selling them on the dark webs.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like scalping tickets. You get to scalp email usernames. That's the way to do it.
Sex.com.
And that was some 15-year-old back in 1995 when America Online first came out. He's like, dude, you know what's a funny website name? Sex. And then now he's just got it. He gets to ransom it to every porn company on the planet. They're in a bidding war for his little nonsense. It was a funny little joke to a bunch of other junior high kids, but now he's a millionaire. He's a goddamn millionaire.
Yeah.
Now we're dating ourselves with the AOL references, I think.
It's so popular on MySpace.
Yeah.
How did my family build its wealth? Well, let me tell you. My father typed in sex.com and hit save back in the roaring 90s when names were back when it was still fresh. See, it was anybody's game out there. You could just pick a name and it was your website.
Yeah.
Ain't like that no more, see?
I feel like any person who's a fan of Biggie would hear you say the roaring 90s and just want to cancel. Like Biggie and Tupac, the roaring 90s.
I think that's when they were big, right? I don't think
That's
stuff they haven't put out a lot of music since the 90s. I don't follow hip hop much, but I think those guys.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Right? I mean, yeah, I don't follow it, but they need to put out a new album. I think now is the time for a comeback.
Yeah. Well, speaking of comebacks, we have a lot of people coming back for answers to the Love Gurus podcast, or for coming back to the Love Gurus for answers, because people still need our help, I must say.
Awesome. Let's take our first question from the Wild Maniacs on Yahoo Answers. People, if you got any questions to write in yourselves, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com or join us live every single Thursday night at 9 p.m. Give us your goddamn questions. For now, we're hearing from the Wild Animals on Yahoo Answers.
First question. The guy I've been talking to wants to meet at a gas station for our first meeting. Is this okay? I've been talking to a guy I met online for a little over 2 months. We were planning to meet in person this Friday. He lives about an hour away from me and wants to meet me halfway somewhere, not far from the highway. I suggested we meet at a local ice cream shop because it's not far from the highway. However, he texted back that he's not trying to eat and just wants to talk and suggested that we meet at a grocery store or a gas station instead.
No.
I was starting to like this guy, but to me, this is a red flag, or maybe I'm overthinking it. No. I know that he responded to someone suggesting we meet at a gas station as the first meeting. Any suggestions? What should I tell him? Sometimes do summaries of this one's pretty straightforward. You met a guy online, now he wants to meet at a gas station for their first date.
I mean, is he at least offering to let her pick the gas station like a gentleman? But here's
the other thing I think about this. So now, and Jake, also being from the Midwest, maybe you can relate to this. Some gas stations in the Midwest along those long stretches of highway that people are only just trying to get through are actually really nice. Like, they'll be like, there's like, some of them have showers and booths and, restaurant. I mean, some gas stations in the Midwest are very nice.
I was conceived in a gas station shower. Absolutely.
It's not a surprise to anybody.
My pa got out of his 18-wheeler and looked at my ma and said, "You're the reason that cavemen used to chisel on bathroom stall walls in rest areas." And then the magic was made.
Yeah, I was wondering about that myself. Like, what is the quality of the gas station? Because I feel like that's. If it's
absolutely
just like
not. If it's the nicest golden palace of Taj Mahal of gas stations, absolutely not. What's wrong with the ice cream place? Go to the ice cream. I'm not trying to eat. This guy is pure trailer trash. Absolutely not. No.
The fact that there was another option offered and he's still like, no, gas station, that is weird.
And it's
Like,
not
it's like
just
at first I was gonna say where is this? If the gas station is the cool spot, I mean, okay,
Well,
cool, but like,
What if
here's an ice cream shop. Go to the ice cream shop. Be a
what
normal
if he's
human.
lactose intolerant and doesn't
Oh.
wanna, like lose his shit? And he's
The
just
plot
like,
thickens.
no, let's just go to the gas station,
Okay.
You're
Like, that's why
lactose
he's
shaming
not
this
gonna
man.
eat.
Well, for the first meeting, you go to where the woman is comfortable, and it's like the whole, I'm not trying to eat. Like, ew. It's not like she suggested like this nice Italian restaurant where he's got to blow $75.
Uh-huh.
It's an ice cream shop. Like, he can get a Coke, like if he's gonna get the shits,
What do you want of them stuck-up broads who needs tables and chairs just to meet up with a guy on a date? What's wrong with you?
No. You meet up at a gas station on your first date, it's all downhill from there. Fuck that guy. He's garbage. He's a garbage person.
I will go out. You know what? I'll take it one step further. Now, I don't consider myself bougie by any means. I don't. Kind of the opposite of that. That being said, I don't think you should meet up with a guy for any date at a gas station. It's the fifth date. Is that gas station date yet? No, a gas station isn't a date. That's where you stop on your way to a date to get you gas in the car to make it to said date. That's what it's built there for. This fucker's scrolling through Yelp going, I wonder what the Yelp reviews are like. I wonder if they say if this is a good place for a date. I wonder if they...
That's right. You got to go to the Shell if the BP is terrible for that.
Absolutely
The
no. Yeah.
Slim Jims are
No ambiance whatsoever.
They got the best Slim Jims in the area.
Yeah. So, see, I just picture first of all, I picture a big gas station. I'm not talking one of those ones where it's like one, it's not even like like the ones where it's just the attendant, like there's no store really, like you just walk up to the attendant. Like I'm picturing like a big gas station where you go and there's booths and you can get a soda and you can sit and chit chat and all this stuff. Plus, sometimes there's a lot of really cool stuff in a gas station.
But he said he's not trying to eat, so that's why I feel like it's not like a Wawa style gas station with like the food and everything.
Or what do you think they're meeting up? I mean, also, well, what are the gist of their conversations? If they're sexting all the time, then he's looking for a blowy in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
See,
know?
that's what I think, that maybe this gas station is sort of like known for, those other acts, which, if that's what she wants to do. But it's, the one thing about this question is she's obviously very vague about, I met him online. He's like an hour and a half away, so it's probably not an app because those are more like location based. Like the fact that she's very vague about the fact that she met him online, it's like, it was a dodgy website. Like 100%.
That's a good point. Yeah, she didn't say. Like we always try to point out at least once a week, these questions are these people's pro-them propaganda. It's their Fox News, their MSNBC, their North Korean state-run news if they happen to be running the goddamn country. So when they leave out details that kind of seem important, it's usually because it doesn't make them look the best. That said, I know we're giving her advice, which the obvious advice is maybe don't go. But I mean, if it's the guy, I would literally rather text a lady, hey, can we just meet up in my car? We can either fuck in my back seat or your back seat if you have a car that you'd like to drive my car to. I just don't want to go anywhere with you before sex. That would at least tell her, oh, he's just a sex addict, not a serial killer. Like that's my good. I mean, I'm not even, if I'm her, I'm not even just worried about the sleaziness of it. I'm worried I'm getting hacked up in this guy's shed,
Yeah, this does kind of seem like a little bit of the plot point of the movie Monster starring Charlize Theron. And well, in some scenes, quite sad. But
I never actually saw that movie, but if she was asked to go to a gas station for a first date, I can guess how it ended. Yes, poorly.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a gas station necessarily, but definitely a storage locker.
You want to be a storage locker?
So there is somewhere worse to go on a first date than a gas station.
She's one of those
lockers.
bougie,
definitely even more red flags.
Bougie princess that had to meet up at the gas station, wouldn't come to the storage unit.
Okay, so I think that we're all in agreement that a first date at the gas station is a bad idea. So now, how does she break this news to him that does she give the ultimatum? Listen, it's either the ice cream store or this 2 months of texting and messaging back and forth down the tubes. I mean, how do you phrase that message?
Well, first of all, I'm thinking, because now I'm analyzing it, because if I'm meeting a guy for the first time, I'm like, we're meeting in a bar. The fact that she's saying an ice cream shop, it's like I'm getting a little goody two shoes vibe here. You know what I mean? She's willing to do an hour and a half, date a guy who lives an hour and a half away, and he suggests a gas station, and she's still like, should I? So it's like, like how secure is she? What's she look like? I mean, not to nasty, but like she's obviously seems desperate for a man. She seems
it would be weird. It would be weird if she did look like a young Jennifer Aniston and she's asking this question.
Like hot chicks or chicks who are even reasonably attractive, they're not driving an hour and a half to meet a guy at a gas station.
Yeah.
They can get it at home. Yeah.
Remember that episode of Friends where Phoebe almost got stabbed to death because she had a first date at a gas station? Oh, no, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. Yeah. They did coffee shops and bars and restaurants.
They actually did do that, but the live audience and Friends didn't go for it. We can't air this. None of the audience didn't laugh at a single stab.
that would be fun. Just a bunch of writers find out they're getting canned on Friends, and they're like, you know what? We have a very dumb staff, and they will straight up, or very dumb actors. They will Ron Burgundy anything we write in here. we're turning this into a snuff film. We're turning Friends into Silence of the Goddamn Lambs.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm not even meeting anyone halfway. I'm like,
yes.
You want to meet me? There's a great bar 2 blocks from my house. Come here.
Yeah.
No, as a dude who's not good looking, like a lot of times, like the girl's like, I'm in Bushwick. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to Bushwick. Like, that's kind of like on you as the dude usually to like travel to wherever the girl feels
you journey to
comfortable.
Us at first. For the first day. At first. And then once we're all established, I'll take the journey to your house.
Yeah, the first day you come to me, second day I'll come to you, but I'm still gonna go through all your medicine cabinet. So
yeah,
seems fair.
But no matter who's driving, how far, you know, I mean, at a gas station, what are you talking about? Hey, you know what? There is no nice gas stations. No, I happen to come from the state that has the world's largest truck stop. That's true. It's on Interstate 80. It's right outside Davenport, Iowa. It's you can see it. They have big, massive lit up signs like a Vegas Strip casino. It just says world's largest truck stop. You can see it and it's Iowa. There's nothing else around it. It's just like the world's
really cute first date photo, like with the neon lights in the back.
Yeah, I mean, except for the fact that it's trashy as all hell, even at the world's largest truck stop. It's still pretty bad. It's still a 3 instead of a 1. You know what I mean? And the thing is they do have like a buffet in there, like a girl. You know what I mean? Like where the food's been. It's better than ordering a plate of food that we cook for you. Is eating 7 plates of food out of troughs that have been sitting here for 6 hours. Rub your face in it, And so that's there. But there's other truck stops that have that. You know what makes the world's biggest truck stop the world's biggest truck stop? They have a massive gift shop selling shit that says world's biggest truck stop.
I see how they do the marketing campaign. Genius.
Yeah. I'm never going to be able to drive back to Iowa on 80 again because if they find out that I was given that secret out over the internet, because any other truck stop, all they got to do is build a slightly bigger gift shop. And now the one on 80 outside Davenport has to downgrade to second largest truck stop. I mean, that's just.
Order all the t-shirts.
Yeah, that ain't gonna. All the t-shirts are gonna be drawn with a line. It's gonna say number 2.
And imagine if a guy took you on a date to only like the second biggest.
Yeah.
That would be
garbage.
Yes. So I guess that's my advice to her is don't meet any guy at a gas station that's not the world's largest truck stop. And even then, hey, he's really got to be somebody special. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of it's still a shitty day.
Dope snow globe, like
Get you a nice little t-shirt. some slippers.
Yeah, no, he's garbage.
Yeah, garbage. Dump him. Perfect. Well, I think we answered that question. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Next question on the
I love this.
podcast. People, write your questions to the Love Gurus podcast from yahoo.com. Until then, we are going to hear from the desperate and the depraved on Yahoo Answers.
Next question. My boyfriend's brother stole his entire savings. What should we do? Last week, my boyfriend's brother took money from my boyfriend's company and about $6,000 from his savings account. I was so outraged because my boyfriend worked so hard for years to save up everything that he had.
He owns the world's largest truck stop. A rich man, thousands of dollars, more money than any truck stop owner.
Yeah, seriously. My boyfriend took it and so he worked so hard for years to save up everything, and his piece of shit brother took it like it was nothing. My boyfriend suspects that he is giving the money to a girl that he met online because he's done it before and she's a gold digger.
Wow.
His brother is very weak-minded and a stupid person. He falls for anything, but it's so wrong that he took all of his own brother's money. I told my boyfriend that he needs to report that and get his report it to the cops and get his money back, but he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to put his brother in jail. Yesterday was the first time I had seen my boyfriend cry, and it hurt me so much. What should we do?
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, that to me, that is the worst, not the worst case scenario, but something that I feel very fortunate that I'm not in a situation of, is when you're dating someone and the rest of their family are just garbage people. You know, like you can't invite them over because they're gonna steal out of your purse. Like, you know, that like to me is a really horrible situation. And so now she's dating this guy, his brother totally stole from him. And she's like, we should report it. And he's like, no, I don't want to get my brother in jail. I mean, honestly, it is kind of, I kind of get the boyfriend's perspective. Like what would you guys do if you were in her position?
Oh, I would really implore the boyfriend to get the cops involved. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
$6,000, not like it was like $500. It's like $6,000. That's crazy.
But what if you confronted him and he said, okay, I'll pay it back?
I don't know.
Well, here's tricked by another online girlfriend into paying her a bunch of money. Like, plus, I don't know, my thing is like, I don't know if the cops, like, do they actually, if something is stolen from you, do they actually help you? Because in my experience, not really. Like, I feel like his brother would get in trouble, but the cops are going to be like, yeah, that $6,000 is gone. Like,
well, yeah, that's what
I'm picturing the cop in Big Lebowski when it's coming. $6,000. Yeah, we got 3 more detectives working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing when this man reports $6,000.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Nick. Because yeah, it's one thing to get the brother, you know, the brother would say, oh, you know, get arrested for stealing or whatever. But I mean, that money is probably already in some Ukrainian online, you know, cam girl's account. Like that money, yeah, you're right. You're never going to see that money again. All you're going to do is just get the brother in trouble.
I would get the brother in trouble just to teach him a fucking lesson. I would. I'd be like, fuck you, dude. I'm just, this is very topical because my very best friend's roommate had some dude stay over and that dude stole $2,000 from him and then left out. And I was like, you better take your little fucking roommate and shake him by his ankles until you get all that money back.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I definitely understand that too, because also like right now it's the boyfriend, but if you get married and you tie your finances together, like this brother can then take your money too.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. I think that some lesson needs to be learned because also I think she said that he'd done it before. This is not the first time that he's stolen, and he's so in love with his online girlfriend who's a gold digger that he doesn't care. You know, honestly, it kind of disappoints me that, you know, if it were drugs, it's like, you know, addiction's rough. Like, you know, that's a tough, you know, so people stealing money for drugs. But if you're, mostly because I watched that show 90 Day Fiance, if you're money for your online girlfriend who lives in Russia, like, come on. Like heroin I can understand, but like your girlfriend, I'm not into it. You should
You don't get physical withdrawals and go into seizures because you haven't gotten blown by a Russian mail order bride in so many days. I mean, that's just deep character flaws with no chemical pullings as much. I mean, this is, I get there's sex addiction, but goddamn stealing from your brother. And back to your point is, if the brother says he'll pay it back, paying it back would be good. But here's what I've experienced from people who will steal thousands of dollars from their own family. Usually not the most honest. Sometimes they'll tell little fibs, especially about what? The money they've stolen. Oh, yes, they're great at lying about that. So, of course, he's going to be lying about it. But I will say to the lady who wrote the first question, do you see how much you can make with online dating if you apply yourself correctly?
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. Look at her. She's going to be a millionaire in 10 years.
You'll be buying gas stations.
You're going to be getting hacked up at gas stations while she's going to be in fucking Boca Raton.
Yeah. Imagine Thanksgiving dinner, in however many months they're sat around the table and he brings over a box of wine and he's like, hey guys, I bought a box of wine to share with the table. And I mean, how do you I wouldn't be able to just have a conversation with that person, so it's almost like you're cutting them out of your life anyway. Either they go to jail or they're completely cut out of your life. Like, that's how I would look at it.
You can't be like, can you pass the gravy and my $6,000? That's not like a good time.
How long it takes to save up $6,000? It would take me years to save. I have $30 in the bank right now. I have $30 in the bank right now.
Also, to steal $6,000 right before you're about to get your stimulus check, dick move, okay?
Right. He should have only stole what, 4,600 of those dollars.
Right?
Yeah.
The government's helping you out, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So my final advice to her is, look, well, but here's the thing. Okay, so what happens in the relationship if the boyfriend just totally refuses to call the cops on his brother? Like, does she stay with him? Like, knowing that he kind of is enabling his piece of shit family's behavior?
Yeah, I don't know if you break up with someone over that, but she should be concerned if they're going to move in together or get married, because then that's her stuff too.
Yeah.
And then that's a problem. But if they're just dating right now, or they're like in year 2 and they don't live together yet, you can't really do anything, but that should be a concern going forward for her future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say if it's a long-term thing, that could be an incompatibility.
Because I wouldn't want him near my kids. I wouldn't want him in my house. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, he's going to be a terrible brother-in-law, man. Your Thanksgivings are going to be like the Passover in Uncut Gems. The guy's just stealing from his family members and they want to kill him, but he can't say anything to the old man. Otherwise, we're going to get cut out of the will. And so he's just going to stare daggers at you like, I will leave you dead and tied up and naked on the side of the road. But you got to go like, hey, so how's your Passover going? Good. I'll kill you, and so that's the way your family reunions are going to be, unless he needs to pull a Michael Corleone in The Godfather 2, huh? And if he won't do it, you need to do it. Not the whole thing. I'm not saying you go up and I know it was you broke because then if he walks in on that, he's going to be like, why are you kissing my brother? It's like, no, it wasn't a cheating kiss. I'm going to murder you, Mafia Don kiss. I'm going to send him out on a little boat to go fishing and then bang.
Yeah, I agree. I think, as we've said, it's something to be concerned about for the future. I don't know. I mean, just such a sad situation.
It also makes me think I'm living my life wrong as a woman with access to the internet. Like, I could be making all this. Like, how much money's your brother got in the bank?
Yeah.
Come on. You want to see some boobies? You want to see some titties? $6,000.
Kayt's becoming like the daughter in Beverly Hillbillies, like the 2021 edition. Like, you mean there's a little gadget on that smartphone of yours where dumb men will just steal their brother's money and give it to you? Oh, shucks. I need to get me an Instagram.
Amazing. Well, I think we answered that question. Should we do our wine commercial?
Absolutely. Let's do. I forgot to plug the wine at the beginning, but I guess I'll do it right.
Yeah. Think about it.
People, do you need a delicious Pinot Grigio to get you through dumb dating situations, possibly involving thieving or internet fraud or being murdered at a gas station? Whatever your problems are. I'm not saying this wine is good enough to solve them, but it's good enough to make you enjoy the ride home. Don't drive after like the whole thing. You know what I mean? Maybe just kind of a couple while you're driving. If you're in the Midwest, you know what I mean? That's the way we do it. Anyway, don't drink and drive like too much. But either way, get you some, what's it called again? Canteen Paololio. Marco Paololio. It's a goddamn, it's a blindfolded pool game and a tongue twister all in one. Look at that. But really good wine. Got hints of apples in it. And you know what? I'm trying to read this off the back. I don't know why I said apples because this whole thing is in Spanish. Or Italian. I don't know. One of those European language with lots of vowels. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's good. If there's lots of vowels and you can't say any of them. That's real fucking wine. This is a real Pinot Grigio. Nice and smooth, crisp up front. Canteen Paololio. Get you some. Now, next question on the Love Gurus. People, write your questions to the Love Gurus podcast at yahoo.com. We're going to take one more from the Psychopaths on Yahoo Answers.
Next question. My boyfriend wants me to relocate with him, but I have a mortgage and no employer in the new area will be paying what I am currently making. I'm also currently expecting. My boyfriend's mother resides 4 hours away and has cancer. He's the oldest of 8 siblings. The mother and the siblings constantly call to borrow money from him, usually $150 to $300 every 3 to 4 weeks. The youngest sibling is a teenager and the others are aged 21 to 37. I currently live in my home that I'm buying. He lives with his roommate in an apartment. He wants us to relocate to where his family is. I don't want to rent when relocating. His credit isn't high enough to get a mortgage in his own name, and we aren't married, and I'm not willing to sell my current home to relocate and rent a home. He will get his job is going to transfer him there, and he told me that he wants me and my kids to relocate with him, but we're not married, and he has no plans of getting married anytime soon. I would have to leave a decent job that pays well, and he refuses to listen when I tell him that his family is getting over and never pays him back the borrowed money. Nobody has cars in his family, but except for one family member. How do I reinforce to him that me relocating with him is not happening? I've told him that we can work out a co-parent schedule when he comes to get the baby anytime after the baby is born, but I know that that's going to be very difficult to do. I can't relocate without a decent paying job. I have a child already and daycare and mortgage to pay. What do I do? Wow. Well, okay, so here's the summary of the question. So basically, the woman writing the question is pregnant. Her boyfriend wants.
This lady's got her shit together so much more than the last two people.
Yeah, she's already kind of doing it, and that's my thing is. Yeah. So she's expecting. He's like, oh, I want to move 4 hours away because my mother has cancer, and these are all legit excuses. And this is going to make me sound like such a dick, but I kind of just think that the boyfriend wants to break up with her, and he's like, oh, but like. He doesn't want to be that douchebag that leaves his pregnant girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, my mom's got cancer and the other 7 siblings can't take care of her. So I guess I got to relocate. And, she's just like, oh, no, I can't really, he is saying that knowing she's not going to leave her good job.
You think if she keeps saying she'll go with him, he's like, damn it, man, I think she'd go. And then he's excuses are going to get me crazy. The story, no, you don't understand. I mean, I want to take care of my mom with cancer, but my abuela in Tijuana's got cancer. Yeah, she lives in the very much stabby, cartel-y part of Tijuana. Yeah, I got to go there. And, yeah, El Chapo's all stomping grounds, not the nice stuff in the hills. I'm talking the cities where he really came up, made a name for himself. That's where I'm gonna move. And yeah, you want to come with? It's gonna be fun. We'll see my
You want to come with? You want to hop in the back?
Yeah. Well, I'm like a coyote, but the opposite. A hyena. I'm going down there to see my abuela. Come on, let's go be hyenas. Get in the pickup.
I don't understand. Like the other 7 people can't do anything for the mom. Like even if he was like 4 hours, I mean, that's a drive, but you could do that in a day. You could wake up early and drive up if you got to go like, help your family with some stuff. You don't have to move 4 hours away. If it was across the country, maybe like
you can do like 3 days there, 4 days here. Like that's Boston. We all live in the New York area. The 4 hours is Boston. So mom's dying of cancer in Boston. I'm like, all right, fine. Go do 3 days a week there. Then you come back here. I think she already knows the answer. It sounds like she knows the answer to this question.
She seems like she has her shit together. Like this guy is kind of unnecessary almost.
Yeah.
But she's having his baby. I mean, that's
yeah.
But because she, I don't think she gives her age, but but she already says in the question, she's like, listen, we could figure out a co-parent schedule. We could figure it out. He doesn't want to get married, but I agree. The fact that it's, yes, obviously, like, I can completely understand your dying parent. You want to go take care of them. But yeah, you can split that. You can do that commute. There's also a million other siblings. Even if they don't have money, they can still, physically help their mother. It's, like I said, it's just he keeps coming up with all these excuses. And I think just deep down, he wants out of the relationship. And she, as you have said, she knows the answer. The answer is, I got this. I don't need you. She kind of sounds great. I like her.
Yeah. I mean, can't the mother come and live with them? I mean, people that are dying of cancer, they don't walk far. They don't eat much. You know what I mean? You just
stay with them.
Yeah, get an apartment nearby.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point, because if the family members are the ones that are borrowing money all the time, just get like a commune, like a Mormon commune.
There you go.
You be the big daddy. He's paying for, and they all just live together.
Where are these families? Like, I don't know. I come from we're 98% Irish. The Hesters, look, if any of them happen to be watching, none of us speak at all. I'm sorry, guys. I love you deep down. We are a cold ass bunch. If I ever called my brother or sisters and was like, can I have $300? They would be like, bye-bye. Money being borrowed. Like, who are these families that are just like money? Like, oh my God, my older brother would laugh in my face, and just like if my younger brother came to me for money, I would laugh in his face. It's a chain of laughing in one another's faces. There's no money being borrowed in the Hester family.
It kind of also seems like, it might even be a situation where I imagine the siblings don't even really need the money, but they just know he'll give it. And so he's just kind of a dummy. Like they have jobs, but they're like, hey, Bill will give us $300 every few weeks. You may as well ask.
Might as well get a Nintendo Switch on the big day.
They're buying a bag of weed and going to the bar with their
I have cancer. I have cancer, Bill. Send the money.
No, move mom in.
Maybe mom's in on the scam. Yeah,
she's shaving her head. Yeah. She's getting eyeliner and drawing purple bags under her eyes. Like, I need money, Bill.
I need money for razors. Shit, chemo.
You see this tube? No, it's not an iPhone charger. This is how I piss, Bill. This is how I piss. Look, you hear that? I'm pissing. I can't piss without this tube.
But see, this is another example of, a terrible situation where you're dating someone and their family just kind of, apart from the cancer, but, the rest of the siblings kind of just sound like problem people. And like, do you really want to like be associated with that and have that like be part of your daily life? Like, no, this just seems like a very organic way to part ways, and she can get on the Bumbles, find herself a new guy.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's a huge red flag too that he wasn't immediately like, I'm about to have a baby with this woman. She's my family now.
Oh my God, yeah, we're not even saying the most obvious thing. She's having his kid.
Yeah.
Like, she's having my baby. I am staying here. This is my family now. You guys have to get this. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Yeah.
Right. The 7 of you are such total fuck ups that like I need to move. Like that's insane.
Yeah. Like, who's this, the family from Shameless? Like, what is it? They're definitely Irish.
You know, I hate to shame cancer-ridden old women, but I'd like to think if I was a cancer-ridden old woman, my reaction to the I'm stage what? Hey, listen. Fuck over my grandkids and come take care of me. You know, like I'd like to kind of, I don't know. Hey, I'm going to go. I want to see my grandkids, but I also want them to be able to what? Have shoes and stuff. So make sure that happens. Stay with your wife so they can have what? A 2-parent household. And that will, that is how you will honor me. But no, this lady, who we haven't even determined if she actually has cancer. The more we talked about it, I think she might be Jesse Smolletting this fucking cancer. I think she might be sitting there eating Subway sandwiches, reading off fucking fake, doctor's notes and stuff like that. Like, no, it's a receipt. It's a receipt from Walgreens. It's not from her doctor. Stop it.
It does seem a little $1 million baby where like she's in the hospital and they like come back from a trip to Disneyland.
And madam, if you marry this man, you better not ever get paralyzed in a boxing match, okay? Because his family will not help you at all. They will show up. They will sign an X with your paralyzed hand and go, "You lost. We need the money. We're going to Disneyland in your memory," and then they're fucking out. Yeah. We're going to the world's largest truck stop to buy a t-shirt, y'all. It's vacation time.
Largest truck stop t-shirt now.
Yeah. Her family definitely, this mother is going to be buried in a world's largest truck stop t-shirt. That is my prediction.
Now I kind of want to watch $1 Million Baby. I've never seen it, but you made it sound.
Oh, really? It's a great film. Yeah.
It's a hilarious movie.
Didn't see that in the reviews, Jake, but I
was thinking Brewster Millions. I'm sorry. I was thinking Brewster's Millions. This is not the one with Richard Pryor, right? This is
he makes a very small cameo as her boxing coach, but other than that. Perfect. Well, so I would say my final advice to this woman is, look, you're going to be fine. You let this guy sail off into his dysfunctional family sunset, and you be a good mom.
Yeah. That tumor's going to kill your mother-in-law. Don't let it kill your kids. That's what I say.
By tumor, you mean the sun? Okay.
You've got 2 non-benign growths within your life that should be dealt with a goddamn battle axe. Uh-huh.
Amazing. Well, perfect. I think we answered that question. Should we do one more?
Absolutely. One more question on the Love Gurus. People, write your questions in to the loveguruspodcast at yahoo.com. We're going to take one more from the crazy crazies on Yahoo Answers.
Last question. Ladies, I need your advice or insight into a situation that I'm having trouble getting a sense of. So I picked up a prescription from my pharmacy today and asked one of the 3 ladies that I've developed a certain amount of rapport with over the 3 to 4 year period if it would be okay if I listed them as references as I'm considering applying to this company. The response I received was, I mean, if you could use your bosses as references, that would be better. I was a bit taken aback. Not expecting such a, for lack of better words, cautionary response. A few minutes later, I spoke with the same lady stating, I wanted to apologize when I mentioned using you guys as a reference. I did not mean to say that I was not going to use my bosses as references. I just would be using 4 or 5 strong ones from work. I just mentioned that for part of the application that states, do you know anyone who works for the company? She then made a gesture as if to say, oh, you're so sweet. I followed with, I just don't want there to be any confusion, and politely smiled. I don't understand how it could possibly have been misconstrued or read into on that level. It left me wanting to say to this person, did I miss something here? should I navigate this situation? So this woman just to give a quick recap, she's been going to the same pharmacy for 3 to 4 years, sees the same pharmacist or pharmacy technicians at that, for the last 3 to 4 years, so has built a rapport. She wants to apply the company, and now she's asking these women who are paid to wait on her, can I use you as a reference? And they kind of politely are like, no. And she's like, I don't understand how to navigate this situation. So it's almost like, there's like a little bit of, I don't know if she just is one of those people, she doesn't read a social situation, or maybe I'm misinterpreting it. What do you guys think?
It's like a guy who thinks the bartender loves him. It's like, no, she's doing her job and she wants tips. Like no. It's a weird, you read into this person doing their job as a personal relationship you have, and you don't have one. Like,
exactly. But that, oh God.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but that's kind of a hard, that's a hard pill to swallow. It's because if she's thinking that she has a rapport with these same people that she just happens to see, it's, what does that say about the other relationships that she has in her life? Like, probably maybe kind of sad. Like,
I ran a pet supply store here in Jersey City for 7 years. Nice. So I know literally every pet owner. Right? I do. And like everywhere I go, it's like, okay. And I get inundated. I'll get a phone call or a text message at 3 a.m. like, Kayt, I found a kitten. What do I do with it? Like, I'm this pet guru. So I know this.
Oh my God, how do you not let that power go to your head? I would love it.
It's not fun. No, it's not fun. I know this woman. They're the cork balls who are sweet and they're nice, but they don't know where that line is. It's like, you can't inbox me at 3 a.m. because you have a kitten. People have boundaries. Like, doesn't seem to know boundaries. Like, just because I bring your bag of dog food every day doesn't mean we're best friends. I know you like your dog, and I know you hate snow because that's the type of stuff we talk about when I'm ringing you up or whatever. But it's like, I don't know if you're a psychopath to work with, or I don't know if you call out sick all the time. I don't know if you steal from your coworkers. Like, who wants to give put their name on the line for a stranger, someone they're just cordial with? She doesn't have boundaries. That's
yes.
Yes, both Hitler and Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs did have little dogs that they love very much, but that doesn't make you not crazy. Having a dog doesn't make you not crazy. And I got 2 dogs. I'm not crazy.
People are wacky. Yeah. Pet people are wacky.
But here's the other thing, and because this has happened to me before, where people that I didn't necessarily like asked me to be a reference, because it sounds like there's 2 things. There's a difference between writing a letter for someone and just telling someone, yeah, you can put my name and phone number down on a form, right? If it's okay, you can just use my name and phone number. I've said that before, just because I didn't want to, be a dick. But first of all, no one's ever called me. But second of all, even if an employer or a potential employer did call, you could just be like, hey, you could just still just tell them the situation, because that reflects on, the employer would get the sense that, maybe this person, as you said, doesn't have boundaries or has screw loose or something. Like, I would just be like, yeah, sure, whatever, just to not cause confrontation. Or am I an enabler as well?
Right.
Well, first of all, this woman works for the company already.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you're recommending, this total psychopath, and your name is on.
Oh yeah, she could totally work in that pharmacy with them. Why didn't you think of that? Duh.
And plus, I know she was saying, "Oh, well, I was going to use my bosses. I just wanted some strong references." Then it's like, yeah, if your friend works at the pharmacy and then recommends you, that's a strong reference. But I'm referring this person. How do you know them? Oh, they come in here and purchase stuff, like everyone else. She is one of the general public who comes in and buys shit. That's how far back we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's different, I guess, if they were friends before, if there was like a pre-existing relationship.
Right.
Like, when I worked at a grocery store, like I had friends who were like, hey, can you like, recommend me for this job or whatever? And I did get a couple people jobs. But then there were some people who were like, hey, so like, what do you have to do to apply here? I'm like, yeah, you fill out the thing online. He's like, oh, okay. So can you like give me a reference? I'm like, I don't know you. Like, why would I put like, I've been working here for a while. Like, why would I put my name on the line for you? And then also sometimes you see people and they're perfectly nice. You're like, yeah, but I don't want to work with that dude.
Yeah.
And that could have happened here too. Where they're like, yeah, we don't mind seeing you a couple times a week when you pick up prescriptions, but I don't want to be behind the counter with you for 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
I think the fact that she even asked is a huge red flag, because I would never
do that.
I would never do that. Like, I know people who work all over town, and I would never be like, unless it's a friend of mine, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't ask like Joey at the coffee shop to be my reference, or what is this guy I don't know. Like, it's
right.
Or maybe, maybe she's got like Asperger's syndrome. Like, I recently dealt with somebody in my life who I figured out like A is never going to connect to B. Like, they're always.
This lady doesn't have Asperger's. She is a full ass Big Mac with a side of fries. Okay. And here's why I say that. Not just because she asked essentially a total stranger to be a reference, a job reference. Because it's the cashier. Oh, we go back a long time. You've checked out the thing. You've ran up the thing, and I've handed you money. We don't know each other, right? So I say it because of that. But also, question, Suzanne, you normally pull these from the dating section on Yahoo Answers, right?
Yeah, this is from the dating section.
Right.
So.
Ding, ding, ding. She's terrible at navigating everything. That's why she's putting non-dating question in the dating section. It's because she misreads everything. She can't even navigate a simple Yahoo. This is about this. This is about that. This is about, and she's going, hey, what's the closest one to job references? Oh, dating. No, that has nothing. Job reference questions are not dating questions, and cashiers are not personal friends and references. You crazy ass burger Big Mac with a side of fries.
Exactly.
Yeah. She certainly wouldn't be someone who I'd feel comfortable filling my blood pressure medication.
No.
The COVID vaccine in the little closet room there at the CVS.
Oh my God, was that the vaccine or was that Clorox? I forgot. I don't know. I was asking resume questions in the dating section. Now I'm putting syringes of Clorox in the vaccine box. Whoopsie, I'm all Butterfingers today. Thanks for recommending me and putting your reputation on the line before you had that promotion.
Yeah, it's just definitely a case of like she invented a relationship that does not exist. Like you are not buddies with the pharmacy people.
I love the idea also, just this, if you picture the scene of her asking the pharmacy people if she could be a reference, that there's someone behind her in line also waiting to get a reference. They're like, what?
They just take out one headphone. They're like, "Oh, this lady's weird. I want to listen to this."
Take out the headphone kind of conversation. Like 99% of the time, you don't want to hear what is going on around you in the city, but this is one time you're like, what?
Yeah, especially if you live in like New York for a while, you kind of get that like sense where you go, "Oh, something stupid is happening. I want to listen to this."
Okay, if you're working at a pharmacy and some crazy douchebag comes in off the street picking up some more pills, going, "Hey, can I be your reference to work here?" How bad do you want to just be like, let's see what this crazy fuck has to do. Whoa, wow. They're full on Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. I'll bet Ed Harris in a fucking fedora hat told her to say that. Did Ed Harris tell you that we were good friends? Because he doesn't exist and we're not.
But I just don't know also like what your pharmacist would know about how capable of a worker you are. Like if they call up and they're like, yeah, so what do you know about this person? It's like, I don't know, they buy a lot of insulin. Like there's really like not.
You can run errands at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't know if a pharmacist. I don't know if they can tell you how good of a worker you are, but they could probably look at what's in that yellow bottle and tell you how good of a worker you're not, or how prone you are to weird inbox messages at 3 a.m. So Yeah, I think they definitely were taking a look at, wow, that's a lot of X's and Z's in these pills. Fuck me. That sounds like the name of something that Monsanto puts in corn cobs to make them grow like 3 feet long. And she's taking that 3 times a day with breakfast. My God, this woman's off the rails.
Yeah, no, she's definitely off the rails. Oh, there's a kitty behind you. Oh,
yeah, cat showed up.
Sorry, false alarm.
Got distracted.
Yeah.
But then that woman went home and it was like, "Hi, honey, how was your day?" It's like, you know that weird lady that comes in.
That's the thing is, I would love if we're completely wrong and actually the people that work at the pharmacy are just dicks. They're like, yeah, sure, I'll be your reference, you know, like PhD chemist.
Yeah, I mean, that is the one perk to working at the pharmacy is you got the lock and key to all the good drugs, man, and everybody wants to be your pal, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to be a goddamn reference.
Keys to the kingdom, man. Can't let just anyone behind that counter.
Yep. I remember seeing a really good documentary about some lady that worked at a pharmacy and just stole like millions and millions of dollars worth of just basically like government grade liquid crystal meth over years.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
And then there's also the story of the guy who got caught for watering down the medication.
Yeah, she was doing that too. Yeah. It was, and I love that there was so little security measures in place that she was just like, I did what? Here's the genius move. I'm a chemist, right? So I was like, what if I took this like $20,000 big jar of liquid meth and pour water in that shit and shook it up. Boom! Free meth for days.
It's like the exact amount of thought a teenager has, like when they're stealing their dad's vodka and gin, and
it worked.
Up with water.
Yeah.
And it worked. And her chemist boss just looked at it and went, this must have been a bad batch. Let's order more liquid meth. And he kept doing that for years.
And that's why you need references to work at a pharmacy now.
Yeah. They came down from higher. Like, listen, if you reference somebody, God damn it, they can't just be a patient. All right. They can't you got to know more about them than I like it. I need drugs. I like it. I need drugs. That can't be the only thing that, because we were, this lady, $1 million with the liquid meth. You would just like a goddamn gerbil, like a thirsty gerbil with the liquid meth. Just yeah, bye. I'll see you when my shift is. As soon as people turn their back, drinking all the goddamn meth out of eyedroppers.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, perfect. I think we answered that question. I think we answered all the questions. And the bottom line is stop drinking meth.
Yes. Stop drinking meth and don't get murdered at gas stations, especially for
therapists,
guys that don't want to eat because they're on liquid meth that they stole from their ex-girlfriend that worked at pharmacies. People, go out there, find love, find references from what people you know outside of buying drugs from at the pharmacy. Yes. Yes. And watch the Nice Guys comedy show on Zoom Monday night at 8 p.m. with Kayt Hester. Check out Nicosia on social media. And until next time, listeners, write us at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. See you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, every single Thursday night on YouTube. Later. And how do I turn it off? How do I?